Hello, Aries. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aries is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free, doesn't cost anything. If there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Aries, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And the Moon card. This is a card of dreams, imagination. This is the card, it could be of nightmares. This is the sort of way our unconscious brings images to our mind, right? This is a doorway upon which we've projected all of our fears, all of our worries, all of our concerns. We don't know what's on the other side of it, okay? So I feel like you're somebody who has a very intense imagination. And as long as you keep your mind, sort of your imagination, under control a little bit, you're going to face your fears. I think you're somebody that you're sort of looking at a really big change in your life. You're on the threshold of a major event. I want to put this into some context. Let's see what is going on with this card. There's that two, there's that decision, right? So the Moon card may be indicating quite a big decision there. Okay. Well, let's put the rest of our cards down. We have two of Cups. We have a Queen of Wands, Seven of Wands, and a Queen of Swords over here. Okay. We got a Nine. Oh, look at that, a Nine of Cups. We have a Queen of Pentacles. We have the Eon Judgment, rebirth, reawakening. That's another doorway, right? And we have a Two of, see, a lot of twos here, Two of Pentacles. So between the Eon and the Moon card, I feel like you're someone who you would kind of like to know what it looks like on the other side of the door, right? You don't like making big decisions without all the facts. But the Moon card's kind of saying you don't know everything. You're not going to know until you go, right? So interesting that we have that sort of juxtaposition between both of these doorways. One, we know the challenges we're getting into. With this one, we don't know anything. This is just kind of, this is confronting our fear. We don't know what monsters wait for us in that dark, scary forest. Over here, we sort of do know. Right? And this is the obstacle card, because this is, I don't think this is what you're getting right now. This is going to be a fiery doorway, right? This is a challenge, but it's one that we know what it's going to be. This is one where we can prepare because I can sort of see it, you know. This one, complete mystery. It may be a walk in the park. It may be the most challenging thing you've ever done. This one, at least we know the level of difficulty because we can see into this doorway. Does that make sense? Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown, and we're just going to set it down right here with, well, not Bubo. It is now time for our big red ant. I don't have a name for the big red ant yet. If you have any suggestions for a name for this big red ant, please let me know in the comments. All right, so if you have a prediction for this card, put that down in the comments as well. I think we should use our intuition every opportunity we get. But let's look around the room here. We have these two major arcana energies, which are showing, yes, both represent this idea of a big decision, a big doorway, a big change that I think you're right at the threshold of in your life. And with all the 2, 2, and 2, I think that this is kind of a decision that we're trying to make. It's either we do it or we do not do it. We either go forward and make these changes in our life or we don't. We've got fire and fire. We've got water and water. We've got air and air. You've got earth and earth. So a lot of this two, the idea of two is very significant for you. I think the number 2 is going to be your kind of special number for a while here, right? So look for the number 2. Look for a repeating series of 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. It feels like we're weighing both options. It feels as if there is a lot of good reasons not to do it, a lot of good reasons to go ahead and give it a shot. Yeah. And the 2 of Swords is we're trying to calm the mind down just enough, right, so that we could sleep at night. This is the 2 of Swords. It's a card called Peace. It's peace of mind. This is our ability to sleep at night. But how can we when we are right up against this rather ominous moon card, this dark, scary forest? And it feels like we're about to start this big adventure. But we're looking at this dark, scary forest and we're thinking, gosh, I know I need to go in there, but it would be a lot better if there was a path. It'd be a lot better if I had a map. It'd be a lot better if, someone could sort of show me like one of those YouTube 4K walkthrough videos so I could see what it is in there. And then I know what challenges await and I know like what I need to bring with me. But you're going into this space, this area, this path, this maybe it's a career change, maybe this is like you're venturing into the unknown, Aries. And it would be nice if we had a little bit more information, but I don't think that we do. So your idea here, the whole theme, I guess, is for you to be okay with that. For you to realize that you're going into a dark, scary forest, an unknown sort of future, an uncertain time in your life. And you're trying to just be like, I'm fine with it. I'm okay. I'm not stressed out, right? We're still trying to sleep at night. Despite this, even though we would prefer to know everything and have an idea, at least an idea of what challenges await us, what monsters are lurking out there in the dark, scary forest, but we don't. But Spirit's telling you to just accept that, to be okay with not knowing, to be okay, be comfortable with the discomfort, be comfortable with the uncertainty. Find a way. And it's kind of like, the serenity, right? To just accept the things that we can't change. We can't change how this looks. We can't change what this moon card is. It's here. That's the card we got. I do these readings in one take. You know what I mean? I don't say, well, I don't like those cards, and then I reshuffle and just start the video over. No, because you see, sometimes we get some pretty nasty cards, right? We have to accept the hand that we're dealt. We have to say, this is the facts. The fact is, I don't have the facts. The reality is, I don't know the reality. The only thing I'm certain about is that this is a dark, scary forest that I'm going to choose to walk into because that's where my destiny lies. And I got to be okay with that. Now, the reassurance is built into this card because of that little sun at the bottom. That's you. And that is you bringing your own illumination. You're bringing the light of your conscious spiritual awareness into this situation as you move forward, and you are the light that's going to reveal the nature of this path. So you're not going out there kind of unarmed and helpless. You're bringing the light of your spiritual awareness with you. And that's going to make everything known. Once you get there, you'll see what it is. You're not going to know until you go. And we're trying to make that decision and be okay with that. The 2 of Cups underneath everything. You're doing it for love. You're doing it for maybe not romantic love, but for divine love, platonic love, self-love. You're doing it because it's a purpose. You're doing it because it feels like you can't resist it. It feels so right and so necessary that even though you may be scared out of your wits, it's the only choice. Right? So this idea of the 2, there's 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Really, there is no 2. There's only one way forward. So really, it's either a 1 or it's a 0. It's either I'm going forward and extending myself and pursuing this path, beginning my quest, living my journey, or I'm not going to do it. So it's either a 1 or a 0. It's either we abandon it, forget about it, or we step boldly forward into this. Okay? The Two of Cups is this feeling of purpose to me. It's an urge to merge. Yeah, it's an urge to merge. And I feel like this is your dream. This is something that means so much to you. That it feels as if pursuing this thing, going on this journey, living this life, is like coming home to yourself. Okay? The Two Cups, it's the missing piece of you. Right, and you're coming together with that. It could be a person, twin flame, soulmate. It could be just the purpose. It could be the sense of your own destiny. Okay. Now, behind everything, we have a Queen of Wands. There is an older female energy that's attached to you right now. I feel like it's an ancestor or a spirit guide, or like a family energy, someone that has passed into spirit. An older female. Who was the older female that was very important to you? They were a teacher, or they were some kind of a mentor to people, or they were a very wise person, and they shared a lot of information. And someone has an interest in trains too. The train connection. But a strong female presence in your spiritual energy, in your aura right now. Strong female. Okay. In the background position, we do have the Queen of Wands. I feel like you've always been somebody who has confronted their fears. I feel like you have a history of doing very bold things. I don't know what other sort of challenging things or challenging paths you've taken, but I feel like you don't shy away from the action. You don't shy away from doing the difficult things or confronting those fears. I don't know, maybe you've done skydiving, maybe you've done like mountain climbing, or scuba diving, deep sea kind of stuff, or whatever kind of challenging, scary things are out there in the world. I think that you're someone that sort of likes those things, or you have an ability to do those things. This is a rather fearless card. But fearless only when we have that sense of purpose. See, this is water and fire. The queens, they're all water energy. And this card's in your past, and the queens generally are looking at the past. So I think Spirit's trying to show you, trying to get you to remember other times in your life where you were very brave. Remember that time, a few years ago where you did that scary thing and you were very brave and it turned out okay. Even if you were scared out of your wits, even if it didn't work out so well. Even if you were scared and you ran away. But you tried. You were brave, right? I think Spirit wants you to reassure yourself by looking at some of these things from your past and getting a little bit of that confidence. Yeah, because you're about to go on another one of these scary journeys. Yeah. The Seven of Wands is up at the top here. You're fully expecting it to be a challenge. But the thing is, with this, we need to bring different tools. You're not going to bring your scuba diving tools if you're skydiving, right? It's sort of different. It's a different context, requires different things. Sometimes this card is about us holding a hammer and thinking everything is a nail. Yeah. So if we don't know what we're expecting, we don't know what's in that dark, scary forest, you don't want to just gamble and say, I'm just going to bring the hammer, and hopefully everything will be a nail in there. So I think that you need to be versatile. You need to make sure you have a readiness to switch gears, to adapt, to be versatile, to use different tools, right? To be kind of whatever you need to be as you become more familiar with the path forward. You can adjust and adapt to that. That's part of the magician energy. That's part of being the one, the Seven of Wands is telling me that you're taking this dream, this hope, this wish, this aspiration, and you're putting it, you're transmuting it or transforming it into intention. Okay? So it's one thing to have the idea, to have the dream, to want to do something, and then to set the intention and to actually say, I'm going to do it. And knowing full well that the odds may be against you. There may be a lot of competition. It may be already a very saturated market. You're going to do it anyway. And you know, if you don't know anything else about this path, you know that you might as well prepare for the worst. You might as well go into it knowing that it's going to be overwhelmingly against you. That the odds are tremendous. Okay, prepare for the worst. Hoping for the best, but preparing for the worst. Then I think when we get to that dark, scary forest, it won't seem so bad. Yeah. So this is the card of that kind of energetic preparation. Now, we have another queen in the future position, the Queen of Swords. I think this is a card of bringing yourself to and I think that's what you're doing. I think that's why, when we look around the room here, we do have our fire, we do have the water energy, but we don't have an overwhelming amount of anything. It's 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. Yeah, that many. So with the air cards, I feel like you're getting a nice bird's eye view, a nice objective view of what this thing is. You can see, it's like you're taking sort of a helicopter ride over the dark, scary forest, and you say, yep, that's a dark, scary forest. We can't see what's in between the trees. We can't see what's under the canopy, right? But we're getting maybe you're getting a look at this thing, and you're thinking, well, look, it's not that big of a forest. And once I get in there and I start working and I start adapting to it, things are going to clear up. And as I get further along on the journey, it's going to open up. It's not going to be the forest anymore. Maybe we're going to get to a lake or a river. We're going to get to the plains, So the Queen of Swords is that bird's eye objective viewpoint, where we're getting out of our fear, we're getting out of our emotions, and I think you have the perfect balance, right? You have the perfect balance between fire, water, air, earth, and spirit. Right? So you're acknowledging that, yeah, this is a challenge, but you're also acknowledging that I'm okay. I do good with challenges. I'm okay. I can do it. You're very much trying to accept that this is an unknown thing, accept that this is a dark, scary forest. You're trying to find some peace of mind so you can sleep at night, but you're also trying to learn as much about it as you can. You're trying to look at it from afar, look at it objectively, and get as much data as you can, right? So that our feelings don't overwhelm us. Emotionally, you're trying to stay connected with this purpose. You realize that this is something that you are meant to do, that this is something that it's like you're reuniting with yourself here, right? But with the Nine of Cups, you're also very much aware that the real benefit, the real happiness, the real joy here is in the journey itself. Even though it's a dark, scary forest, we're pretty excited because this is it. This is our path, right? So I feel like you've really discovered why you're here on this planet. Now, we're going to talk about the path of the serpent, and as we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Okay. So, Nine of Cups, the happiness that keeps on happening, the dream that keeps on dreaming. This is abundance and fulfillment on the physical, financial, mental, emotional, and the spiritual creative planes, 3, 3, 3. It's actually 3 with the exponent 2. Which is strange, connecting our 2s, right? Number 2, very important for you. Multiplying something by itself, right? 3 times 3, 2 times 2, 1 times 1, whatever. And that's kind of what it feels like here. It feels like you are, in some ways, you're kind of doubling yourself in a way, right? Or exponential growth, not even double. Exponential growth. This is something that you know is possibly has the potential to, let's say, change your life in every dimension. Your physical and financial life, abundance, right? Your mental and emotional life. Well, this is personal enrichment. This is happiness. This is thrilling. This is a sense of purpose. I love this. This is going to bring me more joy and pleasure than I've ever known in life. More hardship too, but comes with the territory. Spiritual creative fulfillment. This is the reason why you were put on this earth. So this is an intense optimism. This is a can-do attitude. This is an attitude that says, I am not scared of this dark, scary forest. I'm smart enough. You're not a fool. You know it's going to be dark and scary, so you're ready for that. But there is this happiness. There is this joy, almost a giddiness to start the path. And I think if we saw the Fool card here, I might be saying, like, look, you're not so prepared. You don't realize how bad this is going to be. You don't realize how challenging this is going to be. That here you are with the Fool and with your 9 of cups. You're just dancing around thinking this is going to be a walk in the park. Well, you're going to be surprised. You're in for a rude awakening, right? But no, I think you know that. I think you have this happiness and this optimism, but you're like, yeah, I know it's going to be terrible. I know it's going to be painful. I know it's going to be grinding work. I know that the chances are the odds are going to be against me and that I'm going to have to really struggle to get through this phase of things. Yeah. So you're not ignorant and naive by any means. You fully know what to expect here. And now in the environment, we have another queen. The practical Queen of Pentacles, looking at the past again, but I feel like looking at your relationships. Okay, I think the relationship with that older female. I don't know who that person is, if that's a spirit guide or an ancestor, but they're very important to you. And I don't know if you've been getting sort of strange synchronicities in life lately, or strange messages. Have the lights been flickering? Have you been getting a lot of phone calls, but there's nobody there on the other side? I feel like someone's trying to communicate with you. Okay? I feel like this is you in a very practical way also. Trying to prepare. Trying to figure out what tools do I need, like in a literal way. What clothes do I need to bring? Do I need a big coat or a thin jacket? How many pairs of socks? Like really trying to make sure we have everything that we will need. It's kind of, have you ever watched that show Alone? Where someone's just sort of dropped into like Vancouver Island with they get to bring 10 things with them. And they just have to survive, and whoever survives longest gets like however much money. Kind of feels like that, It feels like that you have a lot of outdoorsy sort of skills. It feels like you have a lot of practical wisdom. You know how to do stuff. You could probably make a campfire rubbing 2 sticks together. Maybe this is a little bit more on the financial side. Maybe you can make $1 by rubbing 2 pennies together. I feel like you have that ability to use what is to use what's in the environment, right? To build what you need. Sort of a Gilligan's Island theme happening now. But I feel like you also have the wisdom and the understanding to know like what to bring with you. You know that you can bring a certain tool that's going to have 50 uses to it. It's like you got that Swiss Army knife. And so this is a very practical wisdom. And maybe you sort of learn this from that older female. Or maybe this is something that is kind of coming through your intuition, showing you how to best prepare for this next phase of your journey. And the intuition, you have to excuse my voice too. I've been talking a lot lately. The intuition is coming through this 2 of Swords as well because of the little lunar crescent at the top. Yeah. So I think that this is something where you need to tap into this spiritual ancestor energy, or whoever this older female is, and be able to prepare yourself in such a way that you can sleep perfectly well at night because you've done everything you could to get ready to prepare. There's no sense worrying about something when there's no more information to be learned, and you've already done all the preparation that you could possibly do. You might as well just get some rest and sleep and be comfortable, you know. The next card is our Eon card, Judgment, Rebirth, Reawakening, the Baptism by Fire. And this, I think, this is, in some sense, this is what we are wishing for. We wish the obstacle, the thing we have to get over, is that idea that I'd rather know what I'm walking into. I'd rather know what the challenges are so that I know exactly what to bring. I know exactly how to prepare myself mentally. But when we're confronted with that Moon card, we don't know. We could go to the other side. It could be skydiving. It could be deep sea diving. It could be a walk in the park. It could be a surprise party, right? We don't know what it's going to be. So there's no way to really ultimately prepare. We're not going to know till we go. This is a card that says we know before we go. And I know it's going to be bad. And I'd rather know it's going to be bad than to have the uncertainty. Uncertainty is good, even if it's like certainly going to be hard, right? It's certainly going to be a challenge. Well, at least I know. So this is what we have to get over. And then you're taking your dream, and you're deciding to set the intention, and you're deciding to make it real and take steps and go. This is you kind of leaving the house, taking that first step, going from going to the opposite, going from a 0 to a 1, going from not going to moving forward. And the first step's always the hardest, right? The journey of 1,000 miles starts with that first step. And this represents that first step, a change in behavior. This is all, so far, no changes really being made. There's preparation, there's thought, there's sort of a serenity that we're trying to invoke. There's underlying feelings here. But there's no physical movement yet until we get here. So this is all like, you're at the door of your house and you're checking and say, I got phone, keys, wallet. All right, I got a pen. I'm ready to go. Got my Swiss Army knife. I'm ready to go. And then we're leaving the house. And this is that first step you take outside. And we don't know what it's going to be. We don't know what the day's going to bring. We're not going to know until we bring the light of consciousness in there. Now, someone in your life is in sales, like a salesperson. Yeah. And there's a heart. Someone has the heart issue. It's a C or a K name, I think the older female. And they had a heart thing. Well, let's look at the mystery card. A big red ant says this is going to be the Emperor again. I think that would be appropriate, wouldn't it? But I don't know. Maybe it'll be the Sun. I feel like it's going to be a major arcana energy. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. Oh, the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. The Knight of Pentacles is the first card we have that's looking at the future now, instead of looking at the past. See, these cards are looking sort of at the past and understanding, reassuring ourselves that I've kind of done everything I could. Even the Queen of Pentacles is sort of looking back around through the house saying, okay, I fed the cat, I turned off the stove, I shut the windows, I locked the doors, I set the timer for the lights, I think I'm ready to leave. So we're sort of looking back and just double checking everything. And saying, okay, well, I got all my stuff, I washed my clothes, I made the bed, yes. Okay, I'm ready to go forward outside the house. This is the card that's looking forward. The Knight of Pentacles looks at the future. You have to be able to see the outcome that you want. Even though you're kind of looking at let's say the top of a mountain. You're looking way up there and you're saying, okay, I know the top of the mountain there. That's where I'm going. That's what I want to achieve. That's the sort of purpose that I'm after. That's that's the long-term goal. Between you and that goal, you see the dark, scary forest. But it's like on the other side of that dark, scary forest is that goal. Is that life you want? Is that accomplishment? Is that whatever, that way of life? Or that achievement, right? Or that feeling, okay? Because the Knight of Pentacles has a vision of the outcome. A vision of both the long-term and the short-term goals, but doesn't really know how to get there. can see the top of the mountain, but I don't know what the terrain's going to be like. I don't know what the mountain is really going to be until I get there. So the idea here is that we have to be very certain of the goal. We have to be very certain of what we're doing. Set the intention. Have the dream. Make the decision. Set the intention and go, knowing what it is we're doing. We have to be able to formulate an image of what we're trying to achieve. Okay? And then we start moving forward, and we sort of build the path as we go. We're blazing the trail here. You're the one that has to set the ropes and make the trail and figure things out for everybody that's coming behind you, right? But we're not worried about them, okay? It's like the Sherpas who run all the lines. They summit Everest 5, 10, 20 times before any of the other people come there on the expedition to go summit. They're the ones that are running up and down, setting the lines and putting the ladders there and all that stuff. I feel like that's sort of you. Yeah. So this is that card that has that vision of the future. You know that the summit is where you're going, and now it's your job to go and figure out how you're going to do that with all this other energy coming to bear. Now, we're going to do an extended reading. For the extended readings, we do an I Ching reading. We do some oracle card readings. It really is a great time. Click on the link in the corner, and there's a link down below in the description too. Come join me for the extended. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free, doesn't cost anything, and new readings for Aries every Monday and every Friday. Be sure to watch both readings. Leave a comment, let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.